Welcome back to my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the books that I read in the month of March. Let's get started. It's a bit strange because March, for me, I thought the whole month, like, I'm not reading enough, I need to be reading more. And I felt like I didn't have that many books to talk about until literally just sitting down with all the books that I have, being like, I have fucking 10. How the fuck do I have 10? Perception's a motherfucker. We have quite a few books to talk about and I don't want to dilly-dally. So let's quickly just say that I'm literally stunning, because I am. And let's also just admit to ourselves that you are a bad bitch and that you can accomplish whatever the fuck you want to accomplish. Like, you are so capable. You are so fucking strong. I'm in awe of your authenticity. I'm in awe of your courage, to be honest. You work so fucking hard. You do so fucking much. And every single person who knows you is truly, and I mean this, blessed. They are blessed because you are, as I've said before, a shining fucking light, a beacon. Okay, you're a fucking lighthouse, bitch. In the middle of the dead fucking night, you are just one shining star. You burn brightly. And I can see it. I can see your shine because you fucking shine. Because of how authentic you are, how strong you are, how hard you work, the effort you put in. I notice it and I see it, and I'm just constantly in awe of you. I'm proud of you, to be honest. I'm proud of you. And I wish that as children, I wish that the younger versions of ourselves could have heard that more, and therefore we could have accepted it more. Because now it seems so hard to think that anyone could be proud of anything that we do. But I am proud of you. You work hard. You do so much. I'm flabbergasted. I'm aghast by you. I'm so proud. You're beautiful. You're worthy of love, and you are enough. You're more than fucking enough. You're everything. Okay? Okay, love you. Bye. If you're new to my wrap-ups, how it works typically is we talk about the books from my least favorite to my most favorite. Boom, boom. That way we always end on a good note. But today I want to start quickly with the manga that I read in the month. So let's talk about it. In March, I read Dick Fight Island Volume 2. This is the sequel and final volume, sadly. It's about this island where men from different regions show up and they're like, I'm ready to battle. But battling is a little bit more different than what you would normally expect. When they battle, they're not, trying to kill each other or anything. If anything, they're trying to kill each other with pleasure. Do you know what I mean? Like, when they battle, the loser is the first one to ejaculate. This is basically like yaoi. It's like porn, basically. I really, really liked it. I'm sad that there aren't going to be any more volumes because I really liked these books, but yeah, love it. If you haven't checked this out, I recommend it. It's fun. On a whim, I read this book called I Want to Hold Aono-kun So Badly I Could Die. It was sold as a horror romance. And when I heard that and saw it, I was like, interesting. Let me see what the fuck's going on. So I looked it up. It was like on Kindle Unlimited. I read the first volume. I don't know if you would call it a romance. I think it's literally just a horror, because at no point did I feel sort of like warm and fuzzies for any of these characters. It was weird. Basically, the plot is this girl is in love with this boy in her school, in her grade. One day she's like, I love you or whatever. And he's like, oh, do you want to like date? And so she's like, oh my God, yes. And then quite sadly, 2 weeks later, the boy dies. He dies. He's dead. That same night, he comes back as a ghost, but only she can see him. It's dark and it's weird, but I think I would recommend it. I liked it. I haven't read the second volume yet, but I do want to. Because I'm curious to see what's going to happen, because there is some very disturbing imagery. Like, it looks cute from the outside. There were some images that really made my skin crawl. Fun. And then let's talk about my only DNF of the month, which was Joplin's Ghost by Tanana Reeve Dew. This wasn't my favorite. I started buddy reading this with Bree from Locked Booktition. I will link her channel down below. She's amazing. I felt very underwhelmed by this. I was expecting going into it that it would be spooky, that it'd be like a ghost story, and it was much more, I think, of like a character study than it was a ghost story. I only got about halfway through and then I put it down. All I kept thinking was like, I don't like this. I'm not enjoying myself. Picking this up and reading it is like literally, quite literally a chore. Not only that, but the book is basically 500 pages. So it's not like it's a short read. Like, I had like at least 10 hours left of the audiobook. I decided to put it down and DNF it for now. I might come back to it. I haven't decided yet. Kind of disappointing, kind of underwhelming, but who knows? It could have just been my mood. I don't know. But anyway, now let's actually talk about the books. Okay? My least favorite book, the creme de la creme of shit of March, is Verity by Colleen Hoover. Now, I'm not necessarily saying that this book is like bad. I'm not gonna say that I didn't like enjoy myself reading it, because it certainly was entertaining. I certainly was compelled, I guess, to read. As you will probably see if you watched, or if you do watch the vlog that I did for this book, you will see it didn't live up to the hype. This is the thing. I was on a live yesterday with Katie Colson, with her patrons and my patrons, and we talked about this briefly, and she basically said that when she read it, she went into it thinking it was a romance novel and was surprised that it was a thriller, and that's where her reaction came from. And I was like, that makes so much fucking sense. If people are going into this book thinking it's a romance, coming out of it being like, oh my god, it was a thriller, you know, like, that's gotta be crazy. That would also, I think, fuck me up, having these like preconceived notions. But what also really fucked me up was the fact that I went into it with preconceived notions. I went into it having seen all these romance readers reading this book and them freaking out, you know? And thinking in my little bird fucking brain that they were seeing something truly horrific, when in actuality it was because they had expected something completely different, similar to me, but like the opposite. And having that realization and sitting here and being like, it's my least favorite book, I think the main reason it's my least favorite book is because the characters' motivations make no sense. The writing style is quite honestly subpar, if not just like on the precipice of bad, in my opinion. That's my opinion. Don't come for me like that, but like, I truly rooted for no one. And that's not necessarily like a fatal sin, but for me, I feel like I need to root for someone personally. Least favorite book. I'm not going to say what it's about, because again, I think you should go into it blind if you do want to read it. I don't know if it's worth it. Like I said in my vlog, if you like horror, if you're used to horror or thrillers, you're going to read this and think it's like Monday fucking morning. Dude, you're not going to give a single flying fuck, because it's nothing special. Although I will say, actually, the one thing that I do, the one thing I did like about the book, and the one thing that I will give Colleen Hoover, the bitch can write smut. The bitch knows how to sling dick, how to like, you know, frop vaginas. What? What? The fuck? She knows her way, okay, around genitals and genital smushing. The Patreon book club pick for our horror book club was The Book of Cold Cases by Simone St. James. If you're not already a patron for my Patreon, go ahead and check it out. There's always a link in the description. There's so many tiers, so many little perks that you can get, including, but not limited to, reading sprints, reading vlogs, early access to content. So if you're a patron, you would get this early. You would get this a few days before everyone else. And like, don't you just want to see this face as much as possible? I get it. Like, I would too. But anyway, if you're interested, there's always a link in the description. But Book of Cold Cases is Monday fucking morning. This book is like a Wednesday. Do you know what I mean? This book is a fucking Monday. This is a Monday fucking morning. Maybe people disagree with me when I say that, because I know that some people really, really like this, and I don't get it. In this novel, we're following this girl named Shay. She has like this little blog. She works in a doctor's office, and one day this lady comes in. She's like, that's weird. I recognize that woman. She figures out that it's Beth Greer, who is a woman who in the 70s was like tried for murdering a bunch of men. She was never like put into jail for it. She talks to Beth and she's like, let me interview you or whatever. And Beth is like, okay, sure. And then things go on from there where we learn more about what really happened back in the 70s, and we find out more about Shay and her past and like why she's connected to true crime and blah 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 blah. Listen, there's almost like so many and like too many things to talk about that are just obviously lackluster about this book. And like that's the thing, again, this isn't bad. I don't hate this book. I just didn't find it that good. Like I didn't hate it. It wasn't bad, but it also wasn't great. It wasn't good. I didn't care. I feel like I need to have some kind of connection. I need some part of myself to latch on to something. And there wasn't really anything here. It just felt like the murder mystery version of Evelyn Hugo, but like not as good. The characters, specifically Shay, okay, there were so many opportunities for like twists, for turns, for like crazy things or whatever, and like they would just always end up boring. So many times in the book I was like, oh my god, let me be suspicious of this because it's got to be something. No, it's nothing. It's nothing. I feel nothing about this. I feel truly and honestly nothing. I'm trying to rack my brain about like what I really disliked about it, and I think it was just that like I just didn't really like anything about it. And again, I didn't hate it, but like, do you know what I mean? Like, I'm very apathetic. I have no feelings about it almost. I'm like, I read it and it was just there. Like, this is the kind of book where 4 years from now, I'm gonna be like, oh yeah, I read that and I don't remember a single fucking thing about it. Like, this is that book. We're almost out of like the mediocre books, okay? We just have one more and then smooth sailings from there. This was my Patreon Smut Club pick, and that was Teach Me by Olivia Dade. This book was very much, again, meh. I don't have that much to say about it. Basically, it's about this fat girl. She's like a teacher. There's like a new teacher guy who starts at like her school. They're just instantly like attracted to each other, but then they don't get together for some reason. I don't think there's anything necessarily special about this book. The characters took me a while to get into. I would say probably like half the book I was like, I don't care. Like, I literally don't care. And then like the second half, I was like, we're like mid-care. And that's the only reason really why I could finish it. I care like this much and it's pushing me through. It's fine. It's cliche. And yeah, it's Monday fucking morning. Olivia Dade's writing is great, but I just didn't care. I do love this fucking cover though. We have 4 books left, which is crazy to me because that was 6 books, but we have 4 books and all of them are the creme de la creme. All of them are the piece de la resistance. Okay, are you ready? I'm so ready. Let's talk about this book, which is The Appeal by Janice Hallett. Now, I talked about this in my book haul quite recently. I didn't talk about it a lot because I wanted to save it for this video because I loved this. By the way, shout out to fucking Jessie from Punker Fiction. She's one of my patrons. She's one of like my Instagram friends, and I literally I'm obsessed because she recommended it and she was like, it's so good. And the bitch didn't steer me wrong. The bitch was right. God bless you, Jessie. You're the best. This is about this community, okay? I would say that it's like middle to upper class type of people. In this community, there's one sort of family that kind of have a chokehold on the other people. Like they're kind of like at the top of the pyramid scheme, even though there's no pyramid scheme, but they host and prepare and sort of sponsor this like theater troupe play thing. Other people in the community get invested, okay? They're all invested. One day, this like main family, they send an email to everyone where they're like, hello, warm regards or whatever. Guess what, guys? Like things are getting really hard for me and Nancy and the girls or what, I forget their names, but you know what I mean. It's so hard. Our granddaughter, Olivia, our granddaughter is quite ill. She was diagnosed recently with cancer and it's quite sad. we're quite sad about it. But what we're going to do is have an appeal or GoFundMe for our granddaughter. Why am I suddenly becoming British? I don't know. For our granddaughter, because she's very sick. We need money for our granddaughter. And so this is like what happens. The whole community like rails behind this family. And they're like, we are here for you. We're here for you. Anytime you need us, we're here. We could count on us. So everybody starts like crowdfunding, okay? So that this family can get the experimental treatment that they need for their granddaughter who has cancer. But there are a few people in the community who are a little bit suspicious of this family and like their claims that their granddaughter is sick, because they're like, okay, first of all, where? Why, when, how? These people have questions, which like fair. If you're going to be taking a shit ton of money from other people and like crowdfunding, it's fair that people should have some questions. Things kind of go from there. Things get crazy. Dude. Okay. In terms of like murder, mystery, thriller, I guess it's not really a murder mystery. In terms of like mystery, thriller, this is up there, dude. This is up there. It's told through specifically just emails and text messages. You have to kind of like decipher or solve the case via the emails, and it's so fucking good. Janice Hallett, she's able to capture people's voices and like have each of them be sort of like distinctive, because sometimes you'll like switch between perspectives and you'll be like, literally what's different, like what changed? Nothing. But Janice Hallett does it with smoothness. The actual like plot is so compelling. By the way, I read this in one day, 24-hour period read. I could not stop reading it. It was so good. The mystery is so compelling, like I said, and I personally was just like obsessed. I was like, okay, but like they did this and they did this, and like I had like a whole thing. I think I still got it wrong in the end, but like I was suspicious of a lot of people. I loved this. If you want something like really, really addicting, something to maybe get you out of like a slump, I would recommend this. It's so much fun. It's just so good. It's just so good. I loved it. 5 stars. 5 fucking stars. 5 stars. Loved this. Read it. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this because I did a whole ass reading vlog. But I loved this and I'm so excited. That is A Court of Mist and Fury by Sarah J. Maas. Hello, my name is Jordaline. I am the president of the Sarah J. Maas fan club. Do I have people right now making me a life-size version of Rhysand? I cannot confirm nor deny. This is the second book to the A Court of Thorn and Roses series. The first book was good. This book was like crazy good, like crazy fucking good. I did annotate it. I went fucking hog wild. If you're into or interested in like fantasy, fairies, fae, mystical things mixed with like a hard, slow romance, this is it. This one. This is the one. Just put a target on it and just, it's this one. It's this one. Just pick it up. Pick it up. Because if you know, you know. And if you don't know, you just don't know. Okay, we have 2 books left. Sorry, that was 3. We have 2 books left. These other books were 5 stars. I would give these books 6 stars, 7 stars. Pick up both of these books. Buy both of these books. Read both of these books. The first one is Beneath the Stairs by Jennifer Fawcett. I'm so glad I picked this up because I picked it up at the exact right moment for me. This is about this girl named Claire. Claire gets a phone call one day from her childhood best friend's family, and they're like, hey Claire, we're so happy that you're like good or whatever. We're just, yeah, it's good to see you. It's good to hear from you too. Anyway, so Abby, your best friend from like middle school, high school, she's in a coma. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, she went into that house that you guys went into when you were kids. Do you remember that? Yeah, she went into that same house. The one that's like apparently haunted, or like it's like rumored to be haunted. Yeah. She went into it again as like an adult and tried to like literally kill herself. She tried to like literally end her own life, and so we like saved her, thankfully, thank God. But she is in a coma, so yeah, it's not great. We don't love it, but we're happy that she's alive. So if you could just come down to the hospital here, we would just be like so happy to see you and like thankful, because we keep hearing her say your name. And it's a bit weird. It's a bit weird. So you could just do that for us. That'd be great. Thank you. Yeah, we'll see you soon, Claire. Oh my God, so good to hear from you too. Yeah. So Claire books it to this hospital. She leaves her city. She's like, I'm gonna go back to my hometown. She begins to sort of like investigate the house, its history, like what the fuck is actually going on? What happened to Abby? Why did Abby go into that house? I'm gonna say this, okay? Listen up, listen up. This is not terrifying. It's not scary. It's not that scary. There were a few scenes where I was like, ooh, you know, I had like shivers. There were a few scenes where I thought it was like really creepy, but nothing is like crazy frightening. For me, what shines about this book is the character development. The character development. Claire, as a main character, is so interesting and fascinating, but also like lovable. She's so horribly broken as a human being that it's like kind of relatable. And I was really drawn to her backstory, to what she was going through, to like what she was trying to still go through, and like her relationships to other people was super interesting. And the book goes between like the present and like the past, like the people who used to live in the house, and also Abby and Claire's relationship in high school / middle school, and all of it is just so good. Ending is kind of anticlimactic, being that there is no like big showdown with like a big ghost, and like it's not like crazy. It's very much sort of like, and now it's over, which I didn't hate. I thought I was gonna hate it, but I didn't. For me, it felt like Jennifer Fawcett sort of swapped out like this big climactic scary ghost thing for just like an ending where like the main character truly has a whole sort of revelation, where we the reader can see her as she is at the end of the novel, and like sort of have time to, you know, develop and connect with and, you know, sit with who she is. And yeah, I loved this. It's not a book trying to scare you, I don't think. In my opinion, I don't think it's trying to scare you. I think it's trying to tell you something. Oh my God, I loved this. I loved it so much though. It was emotional, it was beautiful, and it was creepy. It was like everything I wanted. So yeah, 10 out of 10, would recommend. If you have anything negative to say about that book, I will come for you. The last book, and my favorite book of the month, and maybe my favorite book of the year so far. I've taken months reading this. I have not spared a single fucking minute for it. But I told you in my March TBR, like, I'm gonna try to read it because this is the time. Like, this is when I'm gonna read it. And I finally did, and I'm so happy to say that. And that is Slewfoot by Brom. This is as good as everybody says it is. Like, I kind of wanted to go into it and be like, people are fucking crazy. People are nuts. Like, you know what I mean? But like, at the end of the day, I have to sit here with my dignity, with my pride, and say that this is as good as everybody says it is. First of all, let's start with this. The artwork. The art is spectacular. Oh my God. And then fucking Samson. Oh my God. Oh. I'm fine. Everything's fine. I love it so fucking much. This is about this woman named Abatha. Abatha is married to this guy, and she's like fine, you know. Her and this dude get along just fine. By the way, it's 1666. So it's like the 1600s, you know, and like the book is set in like one of the first sort of settlements in Connecticut. We're following Abatha through her journey of female empowerment, and also through her journey of self-discovery, I guess. I don't want to say that much because I went into it pretty blind, and I want you to do the same if you haven't read this. Listen, okay? Katie, I told Katie, read the book, read it. And the bitch loved it. And not only that, but like somebody else told me to do the same thing and I loved it. Like, this is just genuinely really fucking good. The themes, gorgeous. The characters, gorgeous. The antagonists, truly antagonizing. Not only that, but you will like literally fall in love with Abatha, with Samson, with Forrest. I'm fine, don't worry. Fucking Brom's art is quite literally just fucking beautiful. I would recommend reading it physically, that way you can have the images, that way you can have the artwork to go along with it, but the audiobook is also fucking stunning. Dude, I'm telling you, and I know I've been talking about this for like forever, it feels like, but read it. Just please do you a fucking favor. Read this book. It's so good. And I feel like a fucking idiot for taking like 6 months to read it. Love you. I love you. Okay. We're gonna stop being weird. Okay. My friends. My family. Aw, thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you so much for spending this time with me. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to hit subscribe because we talk about spooky shit. We talk about creepy shit. We talk about Samson and shit. Thank you so much. Don't forget to leave me also a comment down below letting me know what you thought of any of these books. If you're gonna read Slewfoot or Beneath the Stairs, I want to know. Also, if you're still watching, leave me this emoji, okay? Leave me this emoji. It'll be our little secret. Nobody will know. It's just you and me forever. Okay, leave me that emoji and that way I know that you are the baddest bitch. And like my favorite. Shh. I don't keep favorites, but you know. Anyway, okay. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons also for their support and their continued kindness. I'm so thankful. I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you in my next one. Bye. My last video, I was like, look at my cat. He's adorable. He's the best. But like, literally, look at my fucking cat. Oh my god, I love him so much. Look at him. He's so sleepy. He is truly the sleepiest boy that there ever was. Okay, bye.